Starting in a new niche can be daunting, so let's look at how to find like-minded people and build a support and accountability group. Welcome to Career Ending Opportunities. I'm Simon Knapp, and each week we release videos to help people change career and find personal and financial fulfillment in everything they do. First things first, I'd like to thank everybody that's taken the time to subscribe. I appreciate all 4,500 of you, which is roughly 4,499 people more than I thought would subscribe to the channel, so thank you to everyone. If you're new here, consider subscribing if you find the content useful or valuable at all. Now, depending on how old you are, you're probably making friends with everyone you meet and you think is cool, or you've reached your early 30s and are fine with the number of friends you have and don't need to add any more to that list. But when you're looking at doing something bold like changing career or even just changing jobs, you may find that the group of friends you have isn't the support group that you really need going forward. So in this video, we're going to look at 3 great ways to find other like-minded people and start building out that circle of support that you may need when you make these big decisions and take big, bold steps to change career. First up, let's talk about meetup.com. Meetup is the go-to place if you have 0 connections in your new niche. They help small groups organize meetups in real life so you can have face-to-face interactions with people as opposed to hiding behind a screen name on the internet, and really start building your community in that new area. The first meetup that I went to here in New York was with iOS IRL, or in real life, where you have about 20 different developers of various languages that all work on iOS developing in a bar. So it's great. So you don't have the anxiousness of meeting in like a conference hall or anything. We met in a bar, and it was really, really valuable. And I was the least experienced person there. Everyone there was working professionally as a developer, whereas I was doing it on the side and just doing freelance work. Despite a huge experience gap, everyone was happy to engage, happy to tell stories and sing about the pros and cons of programming and tell different anecdotes about what they've experienced in the field. So it's really valuable to actually get to meet people face to face. They're also a great way to build contacts. A lot of work that goes to new people in a field can be overflow freelance work. So having contacts that you've made like a personal connection with face to face is really useful. Once you've made an impact and left a good impression, hopefully left a good impression, you will be remembered for the work, and you may find that it's actually worthwhile engaging in more and more of these meetups in the area that you're in. The second thing to discuss today is YouTube and podcast communities. If you're into entrepreneurship, you probably follow someone like Gary Vaynerchuk or John Lee Dumas or Michael O'Neill of the Solopreneur Hour. These are big established entities, a couple of podcasters, and Gary Vaynerchuk is on every platform and great at every one. But all of these successful and established hosts have built communities. And most people in these communities will have similar goals or interests by the sheer fact that they've taken the time to progress from watching a video to joining a subgroup. And these communities tend to bind over each other's experiences and exploits. And unlike the comment section of a blog post or a YouTube video, there's far less animosity and far fewer haters. You really find people sharing advice and tips, having been through the same problems that you've been. They'll offer ways out of it and just help each other grow out of the problems that we're all going through whilst we change careers or start businesses or all these new avenues that we explore. Having that group that may have little answers for you is really useful. Now, number 3 is the polar opposite to number 1. This is a service that I found called, I think it's Shaper. I don't know. I looked on their website, couldn't find a video that said their name, so let's call it Shaper. And it's essentially the love child of Tinder and LinkedIn. You sign up with your LinkedIn profile, and then you swipe left or right on different business or different professional profiles to see if you would like to interact with them. The neat thing is that not only does it allow you to search by region, you can use like the passport setting to move yourself to San Francisco if you need to, or I don't know, Bozeman, Montana. And you can set that you would be happy to meet people for coffee, talk over the phone, meet in person, go for drinks, like to have a lunch date, I guess, a lunch meetup. And it's a really good way to meet all kinds of people. What I found it really useful for is meeting other programmers and developers, and also VCs and investors. There's an awful lot of people on there looking to invest in startups, invest in projects. And if you are looking to go down that route and start something of your own, it is a great place to be. It also means that you can sit on your couch in your underwear and make professional connections, which is strongly advised against if you're going to a meetup. And I should say that although I have yet to meet anyone in person, I spend a lot of time talking to people in New York, in San Francisco, in all various parts of the US about projects that I'm working on and I want to work on in 2019. And it's great to see so many people looking to share their passion and share business ideas from a swipe left or right app. Of course, it's available for both iOS and Android. It is a free app with a subscription model built in to upgrade for extra bells and whistles, but you certainly don't need that to get started and start exploring who is around you or what people are working on in your area. If you made it this far through the video, you're probably sat there wondering when are we going to talk specifically about LinkedIn, and that's fair. After doing a bit of research on LinkedIn, apparently they have 260 million active monthly users. Roughly 27% of internet users have a LinkedIn account. And from what I can tell, LinkedIn is really useful for certain people. I gotta be honest though, I've never really fallen in love with it. I don't want to say I dislike it, I want to say that I've yet to be converted to it. Now, I am hoping to interview a LinkedIn expert early in 2019 that will be released as the podcast when the podcast finally gets going. So hopefully by that point I'll have more of an understanding of the pros and cons and usability of LinkedIn. But right now I am being willfully ignorant of a platform that I just choose not to pay too much attention to, despite the fact that I know I probably should be there every single day. Do you use LinkedIn? If you do, let me know why down in the comments, that would be great. Like most things, in order to be good at it, LinkedIn does require a time investment to both create and manage your presence. And if you're not ready to be a LinkedIn influencer, there are plenty of good articles on the site, which I do use. I save to Pocket, an offline reader app to read on flights or on the subway. And there's lots of good information on there, but the social interactions and professional interactions are just something I've not got my head around yet. But despite all that, I think it is a platform that I'm really going to need to attack in 2019. If you have any hints or tips, again, just stick them in the comments. That would be great. I'm always keen to learn something new and explore and expand my knowledge and skill set. And I think that's a really important attribute to have, is just to be aware that you will have to learn and study or explore different areas if you are looking to change career completely. So let's sum up. If your support group are completely behind you, great. Friends. But if they're not, there's plenty of ways to find like-minded people in a similar position to yourself. Whether you're up for a meetup in person or simply want to spend an evening in bed swiping right on professionals, I really hope this video helps you find that support group and helps grow your community. I'd really love to know what you're working on and what career you're going from and going to, and we can chat about where you're going and what you'd like to achieve in 2019. As always, if you are subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. If you're not yet, but you're still watching, a subscribe would be great. Failing that, a like of the video would be wonderful. And I look forward to talking to you again in the very near future. Bye-bye.